So there's a new trailer out there called The Haven. And it's, I don't know, it's so different, made by nüCamp, and that's what we're going to talk about today. So I'm excited. Jesse's here with me, and we're going to get started. So welcome to the RV Small Talk Podcast. And, you know, you guys know the rest. We have that whole intro saying. I think we need to change it up. So welcome, and we're going to just jump right in. So thanks, Jesse, for taking time. We're at Open House, which, why don't you explain what Open House is, Jesse?
Absolutely. Well, thanks for having me on. And,
of course.
It's an honor to be here. Jesse Mullet with nüCamp. I'm the president and CEO here. And Elkhart Open House is a great time where all the manufacturers come together and we talk with each other. And we show what we're doing, what's new, what's out there, and it's held at Elkhart every year. And we're excited to be here. We've been here now for many years, and we love the interaction, especially with like-minded manufacturers. Mm-hmm. And we have a lot of back and forth and just a good communication that goes on at Open House. And we see all our dealers, the great dealers like PJ at Princess Craft.
Well, now you're just sucking up, okay? Now I know what's happening here.
But it's a good time where we can all get together and talk about the year, talk about what we can do better, release new products, and that's what we're really excited about this year is kind of transitioning into a different world. So
yeah.
It's exciting.
It really is. A lot of times I come in and you've got a few different colors, you've got some upgrades, some changes. You guys stepped it up because to me, Open House is kind of like an RV show for dealers. And I don't really think about the fact that manufacturers talk to each other and you guys, get people with products and they come and talk to you. For me, it's all about dealers coming up and checking out all the new stuff, seeing what's out there. So, yeah, it's a big old RV show outside. It's either raining or it's super hot or super cold.
Every year.
You can
expect
we have
rain.
weather issues and almost always rain. Right now it's probably 65 outside. It's just a little misty, overcast. It's rained off and on. Everything's soggy. My shoes are wet by 11 a.m. every day.
It's a fun time. It's a fun time. That's what. Then we get to sit inside, out of the elements,
under the tent, yeah,
and do this. So we're super blessed.
It's wonderful. Well, everybody might not know who nüCamp is. So, how did you guys get started? Because I think you have one of the best origin stories out there. So, tell me that.
It is a long story, and I'll try to keep it short.
I'll cut you off. Don't worry.
All right. You can cut me off. Say, hey, we ran out of time. But I'm second generation. My dad is a founder of nüCamp. We were Pleasant Valley Teardrop Trailers, and Dad was a serial entrepreneur. And I grew up on a farm. Grew up Amish, and so we had veal calves, we had beef cattle, we did hay. Farm stuff, right?
Right.
It's where I grew up, and Dad always was looking for something more, and so he started companies, and one was a plumbing company, and then a woodworking, gazebos and lawn furniture company, and then we built steel buildings, and the whole gamut of companies, and he would start one, and then 5 years later he'd get bored and start another one. So that was my upbringing. That's how I grew up, and that's kind of telling you about Dad. But super high visionary, and he was always looking to make something different, to build something better, to move the market forward.
Right.
He did that in every business that he was in.
And you grew up on Pleasant Valley Lane, right?
Pleasant Valley Road.
Pleasant Valley Road.
So
all
it's
right.
a pretty original name, right? Pleasant Valley Teardrop
Could
Trailers.
not even get creative there.
Right.
Well, when you start in your garage, I guess it makes sense, right?
And his vision was not, what we have now, right?
Right.
And this is 20 years later. This is our 20th anniversary year, which is
wow.
it's so exciting. And
wow.
There's a lot of I guess, pressure or responsibility that comes with that.
Yeah.
But it's such an amazing company with the team of people that we have. It's so fun to be there, even through the challenges and the crazy downturns and the politics and all the stuff that's going on.
Right.
It's so important to keep those relationships and keep communicating.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I love most about nüCamp is our team culture, the dealer network, our customers are just phenomenal. And you see that every year at uCamp, the homecoming event we have there locally. And it's an interaction time. It's such a breath of fresh air every year that we look forward to. And so that's really what nüCamp was built on, is the
Right.
relationships. And my dad is very relational, and
Right.
I've
Yeah.
learned a lot from him.
Uh-huh.
I'm
Because
still
you're
a work.
really the quiet type.
I am. I'm an introvert.
Uh-huh.
I love to be out in the shop and building something, and
Yeah.
that's my DNA. I learned to work at a very young age. At 13 years old, I kind of flopped out of 8th grade, and I was not a good school kid. But
I wasn't either.
yeah,
I'll
so-
just tell you, I wasn't either. My kids found one of my old report cards and some old papers that were in a box, and they're like, "Mom," and I'm like, "Yeah, well, I was a bad student," and they were blown away.
Was it that bad,
It,
Mom?
well, I was that bad. Yeah, it was. I had things below C on a regular basis. Yeah, and yeah,
That was me as well, and so I went to a local school there for the first 4 years, and I was a horrible school kid. And so Mom and Dad, they pulled me out, and Mom homeschooled me, and it was pretty cool to do more of what I loved, which was working out, doing something with my hands. That's how I learned. And so I would do
Right.
my schoolwork in 2 hours, and then I would go out to the gazebo and lawn furniture business and work with Grandma and Grandpa and with Dad. And that taught me so much at a young age, of work ethic, of interaction with
Right.
teammates, and working alongside Grandma, sanding wood and putting gazebos together. So that's probably my highlight of my childhood, is working alongside my grandma, grandpa, and the team, and my dad.
well, I think we all have an idea that Amish are workers. I mean, it's what they do, and work is what's valuable. So it makes perfect sense that work is what you did, and at a young age, you were out there making things. I mean, the rest of the world believes that's what Amish do. That's what all the Amish do. Is that weird, or is that kind of true?
It's pretty true. A lot of our identity is wrapped around what we do, and we take a lot of pride in the quality that we produce and everything we do culturally.
Right.
And yeah, so it's very true. Amish are very hard workers. We go to work at a young age. We usually go through 8th grade, and then we go directly into the workforce. So at 14 years old, most of the kids are out either helping their dad in the business, or they're working for a local company
Yeah.
at a super young age. And
This is a little off topic, but there is a lot of talk these days that I hear about with people saying we don't have enough young people getting into trades. We don't have enough plumbers or electricians or uh, builders or welders, all of that. That there's just not enough out there because kids aren't interested, and I think that's Amish DNA. So
I think that's very true, especially outside of the Amish culture. And we're here in Elkhart, where there's a high Amish population. I think we've been very sheltered and ahead of the curve there, with the young kids coming in right into the trades from 8th grade. Instead of high school, instead of college, we have kids coming into the trades. And we have
Yeah.
we have high school kids and Amish kids that want to come in, and work in the factory at 13, and we're like, God, I wish I could do that, but we have
maybe
to
not
wait
the
to,
right
six,
thing.
to 16. But at 16,
yeah, but don't you
17,
think that's good? Yeah, you don't want 13-year-olds not getting the rest of their education. By 16, I'm pretty sure most boys quit listening at school anyway, right?
Well, I did. I was a bad school kid, but no, we have.
Yeah, see, we got that in common. We were terrible students. And see, maybe we shouldn't promote that, because It's probably not the right thing for mom and dads, but yeah, we turned out all right.
Well, I tend to think so, and that I think the biggest lesson, the biggest takeaway from that is to be continuous learners. We're always learning every day, and working with Dad in the business, I saw exactly what to do, what not to do in
Yeah.
business. So I got a business education just from
Yeah.
doing it, messing up, and then going back and fixing it and not doing that again. So
Well, that's what bad students do. Is they mess up and hopefully they learn.
we learned the hard way.
So we went from, dad and learning on the farm. Your dad started building teardrops in his garage, and look where you are now. I mean, wow. Wow, you are nüCamp is the premier teardrop builder. Teardrops weren't terribly famous when he started building them. So what happened?
That's an incredible story. So we were building a steel building, one of the companies Dad started, and the owner of Little Guy at the time was asking Dad about, hey, the quality that you're doing on this building is phenomenal. I have some campers, and we do campers, teardrops. Could you come over and build one? Like, I want to increase the quality of what we have now. I like what you're doing. Could you build a teardrop?
Yeah.
And Dad was like, Guy, what's a teardrop? Like, no idea what a teardrop camper was.
So he didn't choose this. It kind of came upon him.
He was always looking for the next thing.
Yeah,
And so
yeah.
he was always looking. So the opportunity found him. And so he went over with the owner and looked at the camper and reverse engineered it with a piece of cardboard, drew out along the edge, and took that home, cut it out, and put that on plywood, and built his first camper from plywood ground up
Oh, wow.
in the garage with my grandpa. The electrical, he had to figure out all the converters and the electrical and the lights and the roof, and obviously all the little details that he just figured out. And that was Dad. That still is Dad. He's
Yeah.
doing new projects still.
He's still starting new companies, isn't he?
He's retired 5 times already, and he still keeps going. That I don't think that'll ever change because he loves new things and doing
Yeah.
new things.
So, can I ask you how many teardrops you built? What's your best year? How many do you build now? Do you know? I know you're a numbers guy, so you know.
Yeah, so obviously the COVID craze was happening. 2022 was our best year ever. We did over 3,400
Yeah.
units in 1 year. So
Yeah.
if we go back to 2010, we were doing 457 that year. So
Wow.
it went from '05 doing 10 units that year, and then '07, '08 was the bottom dropped out of everything, and
That's right. That was the housing crash. Everything was terrible.
it was bad.
And how many did you make in the worst of times at that point?
The worst of times, well, Dad actually shut the doors in '07, '08, and like sent all the team home, and was like, I can't do it anymore. We don't have any orders. We don't have any money coming in. I can't pay
Right.
you. And so he shut it down, and then it was really a God story. He flipped the switch. He got in contact with a different group and restarted within a month. He just opened the doors again and started bringing in product and building it again. He hired some team members back, and then from '08 to '09 is really when it started again. In '09, we just continued to just
Shoot
go
up.
crazy and really
Yeah.
brought the teardrop market back in force. And
Right.
it's an amazing story where, again, when people come together, the right people in the right place,
Yeah.
and you have the blessing of God, and we're spiritual, religious people, I guess, being Amish growing up, and that's what we believe.
Right,
And
right.
We believe God is in control, and so that was Dad's. He did everything he could, but the rest he had faith in God that it would work out. And we're here now.
How do you think that worked out?
It
Pretty good,
it,
huh?
it worked out. It did.
Pretty. I'm so impressed. I've followed you guys from the beginning, and the tabs and tags that you acquired in 2011, because during that tough time, Thor actually dropped the product, and I was with Thor carrying the tab, and when you guys picked it up, I was like, yeah, I don't know about these guys. I don't know how this is gonna work. And I remember I called up, And you guys are like, we're good. Thank you so much. We don't need to work with you. We're good. And I was like, oh, man, you know. And in the next year, I finally convinced somebody to give me a shot. Yeah. And what a fun ride it's been.
It's been incredible.
Yeah.
Dad took the Tab 320 and we bought it from Thor, and he designed a bathroom inside, and that was the first thing that ever happened to the Tab that was like, oh wow, you can actually put a bathroom in a Tab.
Yeah.
And that
Yeah.
was something they challenged Dad and said he couldn't do it, and
Well,
that was all it took to, oh, I will.
yes. I will tell you that Thor designed a bathroom inside, and I don't remember what it looked like. I mean, that was a long time ago. And I got a handful of them in, and they sold like overnight, and then they shut it down. And I was like, wait, you guys just figured out how to do this. They shut it down, and then when you guys took over, the bathroom was gone. And then you had to re-engineer it. Now, I'm not saying it was a great bathroom that they put in there, but it was something. And all of a sudden, they sold like wildfire. They also had like 7 different layouts in a teardrop. Seriously?
Yeah.
Seriously? How do you rearrange a teardrop 7 different ways? But they did. They had 7 layouts. It was crazy. It was just crazy. So anyway.
Yes. Well, when we brought it in, we changed the technology from wood sidewalls. We went all aluminum with
Yes.
the laminated panels. We changed the plumbing, the electrical. We changed a lot of the technology and
Yes.
upgraded to, 2000s
Yeah.
when we brought it in.
Well, you made it lighter and you made it cuter. That's what you did, in my mind. I mean, that is the simple truth of why the consumers leaned in at that point. Then you came up with the tag, the smaller one, and somehow all of the other teardrops were real basic. And, now the basic teardrop in the overland business is coming back. But you guys made it cute and adorable and trendy, and off it went.
Yeah.
It's been a super fun ride. And a big part of Princess Craft's success. So thank you for that.
No, it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's partnerships. It's what makes the world go round. And
It is. So moving on, then the next thing you did is you made a 400, which is a big teardrop, right?
it is.
And then what the heck? You came up with a truck camper. I mean, where did that come from? A truck camper? Seriously.
Right?
I know. I never understood that jump.
Go back to Dad again and his innovative spirit.
He
of
just couldn't quit.
Like,
Can we blame
what can
all
we
of
do?
this on Joe?
You can blame all of it on him. He had dabbled in truck campers early, like in '06. He had made it was called truck camper, truck traveler or something.
Truck Traveler?
Yeah, it was truck traveler, I think.
Okay, so we now know he totally sucks at naming
Yeah,
things.
like naming things, not his strong point.
Okay.
But he had built a few back then, and then in 2015 we started talking about, hey, we could really make something of the truck camper, and
Yeah.
there was a niche there to fill with our designing and the flow, the European design that we bring in with Amish craftsmanship, and Dad was like, we're gonna build a truck camper. And at the time
And what did you think about that?
I was like, I had joined in 2012, so I kind of knew in that 5-year span that how Dad operates now
Right.
in the
Right.
RV space. But
Was there a group of people trying to contain him?
always,
Always?
still, yeah. We'll still like tell him, hey, Dad, you need to go on vacation. Just go away and just have fun. Do something else.
Yeah, stop creating new things. I mean, I've seen some pretty cool prototypes that he dreamed up and worked on. Some of them are out there traveling, and they're cool, but he just couldn't quit thinking of a new thing. And anyway,
Yeah, he's still
truck campers
still
threw
doing
me
that.
through a loop. And but they're cool. They're super cool. They look different. They feel different. It is one of the most unique truck campers on the market.
It is. It's the Cirrus has won awards almost every year since we've started it, and we have 3 different models now: the 620, 820, and the 920. It's a great product, and it's hard to build because every year the trucks change. And so every year we have to
That's
go
right.
do measurements and make sure everything works. And so it's a little more complicated than campers.
Yeah.
But I love the truck camper. I did a coast to coast bicycle trip, and this was back in 2018, and we had a Cirrus truck camper that we used to travel with me, and
Yeah.
slept in it, and it's a
So,
great
okay.
product.
So you rode a bike coast to coast.
I did it.
What? Well, I know you're a big bike rider, and I know you're a big runner. I also happen to know that you are a terrible swimmer. Do you remember that conversation?
We did talk about that.
We
a while
did
back.
talk about
I don't
it.
want to go back to that conversation though.
Here's what I remember is that we were at you have a rally every year where your fans have to get in a lottery to get in. And they would have to get in the lottery, get chosen, because you could only have a few hundred people there. And crazy. I don't know anybody else who does it that way.
And it's still that way. You know, it sells out in 2 hours.
It sells out in an hour or two.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So you have this gathering, and we're sitting there eating probably Amish donuts. And guys, if you had never had an Amish donut, it is as big as a dinner plate.
Yeah, it's massive.
It's crazy. And I am from Round Rock, which Round Rock Donuts, if you ever come see us, stop at Round Rock Donuts. They are famous. So I know donuts. Donuts are not foreign to us, but Amish donuts, whole nother world. So anyway, moving on, we were eating Amish donuts, and you said, yeah, I'm doing this triathlon, and they were teasing you, yeah. And you said, yeah, I just hate the swimming. I just hate the swimming. And I said, man, I'm going to start swimming every morning because I hate the running, right? So we made a bet that we never followed up on because I said, okay, you get better at that swimming. You quit being so weird about it. And
Quit being a pansy, right?
Yeah.
Train and suck it up.
Just do it. Yeah, because I couldn't ride a bike from coast to coast. So anyway, and I said, and I'll start swimming every morning, and I'll do what I said I was going to do. And probably neither of us did that.
I did not learn how to swim any better, but I do run every day. That's part of my life. Now it's been over 5 years that I run every single morning, never missed a day.
That's awesome.
Did a bike trip, the bicycle
Okay,
trip.
back to the bikes. Okay, sorry. Yeah, sorry, guys. Are you still with us? 'Cause maybe you're not. But yeah, you rode a bike coast to coast on top of working at nüCamp. Why? Why did they say, go ride a bike, go take some time off?
So this is back again to credit to Dad, to Joe Mullet. When I was young, I was probably 13 the first time we talked about doing a coast-to-coast bicycle trip. It was something we had always dreamed about from sitting around the supper table, eating chicken noodle soup with no chicken. I mean, that was the level of poor we were. But we had dreams, and Dad, we constantly talked about, someday we're going to do that. And so...
Really? Because most people would say, how do I get out of doing that? How do I not do that? And you wanted to ride a bike for 2,000 miles?
3,400.
3,400. Yeah, I don't know how far it is from coast to
It's
coast.
far when you pedal
I
a
bet
bike.
you do.
Yeah, I know exactly how all the mountains look because I've seen them for 8 hours at a time biking up to them.
Wow.
But I believe we're made for adventure. We're
Right.
made for community, communication. The adventure part was always something that Dad and I mean, he just went skydiving 2 years ago. So he's still doing the adventure things. And so it's kind of in my DNA. But that was when the dream started, was in early. Yeah.
Right.
So I was 13. So I don't do that math very well. But
Remember, we're both bad at school.
yeah, and I'm over 40 now, so I try not to do math anymore.
that kind of math we don't do.
Yeah, no. And that was where the vision started. And then finally in 2016, we started talking about it more seriously of like, could we really do this? Because 3,400 miles in 30 days is a grueling adventure.
Right.
And when is the time ever right? We have a company that we're trying to build. There's a lot going on. When is the time right? I have 2 little kids, 2 years old and 1 year old. When is the right time?
Right.
And
not then.
not
for sure.
then, right? And I was like, okay, it's never going to be the right time.
Right?
It's a decision we have to make, and we're going to go with it. And that's what we did. We said, okay, in 2018, we're going to do it. May 1st, so the month of May in 2018, we started in Washington on the West Coast with feet in the sand. And
And when you say we,
so Dad started the trip with me. The
okay.
first couple days he was with me. The first day he rode 100 miles. He had never rode 100 miles in his life, so he rode a century the first day we were out. So that was a really fun kickoff day because this
Yeah.
was again years and years later that we're actually now doing it.
Right,
And
right.
it's Dad and I, just the two of us riding east. Um, it was a phenomenal experience that day, and we came back and we couldn't walk.
Right,
Like
right.
the pictures, we still have pictures of that day, but I'll never forget that day because of the vision we had, and then finally it came to fruition years and years later. And then, again, Dad and I just going out and making a decision to do it, and not.
Just because it was something to do.
It was an adventure. It was something different. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Being
How
out
I,
in a camper and then riding
yeah.
the bike.
How many of us have dreams of what we're going to do someday and we don't do it? I mean, we never do it. We just talk about it. And I think that just to do something that outrageous is so cool.
Yeah,
Now, if I remember right, you raised money as well.
we did. There's a local charity called Pure Gift of God. A good friend of mine started the foundation. It's an adoption foundation, and
Uh-huh.
they couldn't have kids early on, and so they adopted two kids, and
Uh-huh.
from that started the foundation.
Uh-huh.
And that's for me. I always wanted to be part of something bigger than myself. Like just to go do a crazy adventure it's fun and it's rewarding.
Right.
If I could also raise money for a charity, then it makes it so much more fun. There's
Right.
like when you hurt, when you think you can't go anymore, there's something there to catapult you through that
Right.
pain, really.
Right. Right.
And so we raised over $115,000 that year. I know a lot of dealers helped us. A lot of people helped, gave a lot of money for that. I
Yeah.
believe you were one of them. And that has now been since that time, every year I do something to raise money for Pure Gift. Either it's running a marathon, ran Boston twice, and then just 2 years ago we did another bicycle trip in honor of my grandpa that helped start the Teardrops. He passed away in 2020, and so October 28th of 2023 we did another bicycle trip from Niagara Falls to Key West. So we did the cross country in 18, and then we were like, okay, I'm going to go the other way across the country in 23 in honor of Mel Mullet. And so we did it. We did it in 10 days. Grueling, crazy trip. I
Yes.
mean, rain and mud, and it
And
was
here we are complaining about
crazy.
being here at open house and our feet wet by 11 a.m. I mean, I don't think it compares.
yeah.
I don't think it compares.
I was never that cold in
Wow.
my life. Like
Wow.
it was so cold. Niagara Falls in October, the end of October, it was 35 degrees and started raining. And
Oh, and you're on a bike.
on a bike, you're not gonna stay dry. It's just part of it. You just
Wow.
try to stay warm and not die.
But you had those 10 days, so you couldn't stop.
We didn't stop, and
Oh, wow.
so 185 miles every day for 10 days is
Wow.
what it took to get us through that trip, and again raised money for charity. And
Well, I applaud you for always just saying, hey, I wonder if we could do this, or just really pushes to the limit. I mean, that probably translates to the business as well.
it does. When you
So-
make a decision, and I learned this from the Iron Cowboy. He's a world record holder in triathlons, and he did say he'll help me swim. He'll teach me how to swim if I want to. So,
But do you want to?
well, that's the question.
I don't know.
He's there whenever I'm ready. He said he'll help me learn how to swim.
Okay.
But he made the comment when he was doing the 101 triathlons consecutively. We got to do day 94 and day 95 with him, and in that trip, or when we were doing the marathon, basically walking it, he said, or I asked him, how do you do this every day? Like, how do you make that decision? And he just popped up and said, when it's go time, I make decisions. And that to me was, again, just, it's who we are as well. Like, you just make a decision and then you go do it. And there's nothing that can stop you. And that would be my encouragement to everyone is, if you have a dream, it doesn't matter how small you think it is, or whatever it is. If you have a dream, make a decision, get some people around you, because all of this doesn't happen unless there's a team.
Right.
On a bike trip, in a business, there's always a team. And get a team around you, and then just go do it. And that is empowering for the next thing. And then you just build brick by brick and just build that story.
Yeah.
And I live with no regrets. And it's a fun life.
Wow. You know, I love hearing that people live with no regrets. That is something that I think you don't hear a lot. So good for you.
Thank you. And it's not perfect. No regrets doesn't mean perfection. I make
doesn't
a lot
mean
of,
yeah.
a lot
It doesn't
of
mean you get it
mistakes,
right.
A lot of mistakes. I've got 4 kids, beautiful wife, and super blessed at home.
Yeah.
Little kids, 10 to 1. Love them to death. They're just awesome. And I've been so blessed in life, in the business, having a team around me that is just phenomenal.
I'll tell you,
building
you do have one of the
relationships.
best teams. It is so great. You've got great people here. So now you've got a new product out, which is why we're sitting here talking. But so I guess we ought to talk about that.
I guess we
Maybe
should.
a little.
I mean, we kind of
I mean,
got
does anybody
sidetracked.
care?
We got sidetracked in dreaming big and doing big
Yeah.
things.
But, you know, that's important stuff. So you guys tried building a larger trailer in the past, and it was a struggle. And so you stopped the manufacturing on that. And that was the Avia. And I just have to say, Jesse, who named the Avia? Okay, was
I'm
it
not
a
going to
team
throw
effort?
anybody under the bus. I was.
Was it a team effort? Okay.
It was a team effort. I was in the room, so I will take
Well, yeah, that's big of you.
responsibility.
Well,
I'm not.
the only reason I
gonna
say
throw
that is
anybody
because
under
it was
the bus.
called Avia, Avaya. I mean, or some people just said, you know that one? I don't know what it is. So, but it was gorgeous. But it wasn't an overwhelming success.
Yeah, I think the timing of when it came out was right before COVID.
Okay.
And then we went into COVID, and then the teardrop world, the niche that we were super good at,
Right?
just blew up. So
Uh-huh.
we moved all the resources into teardrops to try to
Mm-hmm.
keep up with the demand. And then Avia was it was a huge leap from the Tab 400 to a 29-foot travel trailer. It was
Right.
It was almost too big for our demographic, our customers. It couldn't wrap their heads around it.
Yeah.
And so we went way overboard with it, and then still a good product. Like we used the Avia until we had the 4 kids. Now we don't fit anymore, but we
Right.
used that a lot for many years, and we loved it.
It's a really unique trailer. So, yeah, in the description and the notes, we'll put a picture of it. It's a unique looking trailer. It was beautiful on the inside. There were some design things that I think needed some tweaking, but isn't that the way all new products are?
It is, and I believe we went a little far on the European infusion. So
Yeah,
it was very
yeah.
European. It was a little more narrow. It had slide ins versus slide outs, and that's a European thing.
Yes.
It had a lot of similarities to some brands in Europe, and that's where we drew a lot of that vision from. But I think we were a little too far over the edge.
Yeah, the market wasn't ready for it.
Wasn't quite ready.
But you had an electric bed that slid up out of the way, and we're seeing a lot of that now. We didn't see any of it then. You had an expandable bathroom. Just a few things that, I think people just weren't ready for.
Yeah, I believe that too. Yeah.
But so now you just launched another trailer. I got to start out by saying you called it the Haven. I think everybody can pronounce that. I'm going to know what they're talking about when they ask me about it. Our sales staff won't have to correct them. Thank you.
You're
for
welcome.
that.
You're welcome.
So-
Our team has grown. We've become better at naming campers.
Oh no, I'm just super critical. That's really what it is.
Well,
It's all
Haven-
it's all about me. It's my problem.
Haven was the vision for Haven was something, a product or unit you could take out, and it was a haven from the craziness in the world we're living in right now, all the social media and the just everything when we're bombarded with every day. And we wanted this to be a haven away from the craziness, to be out by the river and sitting out there looking out the windows. And we wanted this to be a haven, more than just a name, but a place where people could go to get away from the craziness of life and the humdrum and the busyness. And that's where the inspiration came from of designing something like this that is, and it's relaxing. It feels good.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a haven.
So, what are the key features? Because this is a podcast. Some of you may be watching online on YouTube. Yeah, you can see our ugly bugs on YouTube if you want to, and so you'll be able to see where I'm sure. I mean, I'm not going to do it, but somebody much smarter than me, who probably did really good in school, is going to be putting up pictures of it. But if you're not, how would you describe this?
So it's the Haven 220. So it's just over 22 feet in length. Width is as wide as we could go. DOT standards, but
Right,
to
thank
give
you.
people the room inside, and
Right.
it's super spacious in here.
Uh-huh.
It has a full walk-around bed, which was, again, if I go back just a little bit, when we started this project 44 weeks ago now, from a napkin.
You're counting the weeks?
It is per week, and it's 44 long weeks of from design to prototyping, feedback from customers, and that's what I want to
Right.
highlight is we take a lot of feedback, and I have to give credit to a lot of our success from dealers and from the customer base. We take a lot of feedback and we change things. We make it for their standards, and we did that with Haven. We said, hey, we want to build something that's 21 feet or 24 feet, somewhere in that area. What would you want? And from the feedback, then we took it and said, okay, this is what everyone's saying. That's what we want to, that's our target now. And
Well,
so,
you definitely have gotten feedback for a larger trailer with a walk-around bed for how many years now? They have really pushed. You have the most vocal, I don't know what you call them, followers,
I
fans,
guess fans,
groupies.
community,
Catch.
we
Yeah,
love
oh,
it.
that's the lovely word
It's,
for
it's
it.
amazing.
Yeah,
It
it
helps
is.
us get better.
It is.
And we in that communication, which is so important, we get to build a better product that more people can enjoy, and that's what we want to do.
Yeah.
And so that's what continued to inspire this trailer. So full walk around bed. We have on a rear bath, full dry bath setup. We have the Alda system that you've come to know and
love.
trust. And
That's right.
we've got the Truma Venta AC. So high-end features, 25-foot black tank, and then we have 35-gallon gray and 34 usable fresh. So you've got a lot of the amenities that you need to get away and get off the grid and just go have fun.
Yeah. And I think people are looking for they're looking for something a little bigger in the nüCamp style, is what your group kept asking for. Dry bath, walk around bed, a little bigger. Yeah, you're the teardrops. I mean, they do have a limit to them, and they didn't want to leave the nüCamp family, but you didn't have anything. So this is just perfect. It's just a little bigger, and nüCamp has a style when you walk in, and you can tell it's nüCamp. I don't know how you do that, but you walk in, whether it's a Tab, a Tag, or a Cirrus, or now a Haven. You walk in, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is nüCamp, and you just know. What is that?
So again, I go back to team. It's the team, the visionaries, the engineers. We have the best team in the world,
Oh,
And
now that's a pretty big statement.
that I believe it 100%.
That's a pretty big
I
statement.
used to say it's the best team in like a tri-state area.
Uh-huh.
Now it's the best team in the world. We've been through fire. We've been through a lot of hard things in our 20-year existence, and through that, the refining and pushing in together, communicating, that is what makes our team so successful, and that's why you see the commonalities throughout is we care genuinely about our product. We take a lot of pride in what we do, and we don't always agree. Even inside internally, we're arguing about a table or we're arguing about a fridge, and through that friction, we come out with the best product possible. And so it's the team, and then we have state-of-the-art woodworking facility with Italian machinery, first of its kind in the United States for the edge banding we do. It's all PUR glue, which is way better than the EVA hot melt that most companies use. It holds up in the elements. That's something that we don't talk about a lot, but it's that level of quality that we put in. It's more expensive. PUR glue, it's a polyurethane, is probably 10 times more expensive than EVA hot melt. But that was one thing that I said, we will not cheapen out on the things that you can't see because we care genuinely. And the team throughout the whole company believes that as well, and it's in our DNA. And so that's why you see the commonalities. That's why you continue to see the quality, is because of the team, the equipment, the state-of-the-art CNC machines we have, and then our internal lamination department now. We have a full-scale laminating department that we do all our own sidewalls now, and so the quality has increased over the past 2 years with our quality in the sidewalls as well.
Well, I can tell you, when I go to your plant, and I have been to a whole lot of RV manufacturing plants, I have never seen anything as clean as yours. And I have been told it is the Amish background. You guys, when I go out there, I'm pretty sure I could eat off the floor and not feel bad about it.
100%.
I mean, it is crazy. It is almost like, the little elves run around and they clean up. I mean, you cut something, if there's sawdust. I mean, it is incredible, the production facility that you have. So, and you give tours there, right? So if anybody, even if you're not buying a teardrop, even if it's not something that you're really thinking is for you, I think everybody should stop and tour. And now I hate to say this because you'll have all these random people stopping in, but I mean, if you're in Sugar Creek, Ohio, which, I mean, just the name is pretty amazing.
It's also called the Little Switzerland of Ohio. So we have the world's largest cuckoo clock.
And I thought that was so bizarre until you go see it. And then it's just, I mean, I don't know whether to just stand there with my mouth open or just laugh. It is just
probably both.
maybe a little of both. I mean, you've got one block of downtown, pretty much, right?
Yeah.
One block.
It's very small village.
Yeah, and you've got in that one block, you've got 2 restaurants and a ferry store.
Ferry store and
a ferry store, guys. Yeah. If you have never seen. I don't know if there's another ferry store in the world, but you need to go to the ferry store, and it's across the street from the world's largest cuckoo clock.
It's true.
So, yeah, this is like, Ripley's Believe It or Not right here in Sugar Creek.
It's to that level.
It is. But it is gorgeous. I mean, rolling hills that are picturesque. It is beautiful. So take a side trip in Ohio. I never dreamed Ohio would be so awesome. And then tour this manufacturing plant because it is absolutely incredible. I'm just, and I know that is mostly your doing because that is what you were built for. You were built for streamlining production, and you're really good at it. And I just have to say, guys, there are 3 things to see in Sugar Creek, and that is the manufacturing plant, the cuckoo clock, and the ferry store.
And the ferry store.
And then go around the corner, get some ice cream, and then go to
the big donut shop as well.
Oh, okay.
That's a thing.
Park Pizza.
Park Street Pizza.
Park Street
is
Pizza.
A very good company.
I mean, So yeah, that is your hit list for Sugar Creek. You're welcome.
So now you're being really nice, saying all those nice things about us. So I appreciate that as well. Um, More than happy to give tours to anyone. If you're not interested in a camper at all, just come see us. Come hang out. It's fun to be there. It's hard to explain until you walk in and you understand it feels different, and we hear that all the time.
It does feel different. And now you have a huge service center across the street. I have never had a company that has 3 people who just are customer service phone people. I mean, you invested in a department that simply helps your customers. And I know everybody says they do, but I've never experienced it to your level. Hats off. All right, enough of that. We sound like a commercial. Sorry. But
we're not that polished. We're just people.
yeah.
So.
Don't miss the ferry store. I'm just saying. You can't miss the
I've
cuckoo
not been to
clock.
the ferry store. I go past
Really?
it all the time, but it's like it doesn't really go with Amish. It's like very Amish. It's
and
like
I believe
oil and water.
they were building like a bed and breakfast in the giant Victorian house next door with ferry rooms you can rent. I don't really know where that is now, but yeah, it is.
It's an interesting place.
Okay, well, if you're not going to learn to swim, will you go to the ferry store?
Maybe I'll do that.
All right, I'm going to ask you next time I see you. So, at any rate, well, this is a beautiful trailer. It's a great addition to your lineup, and I'm so glad that you made another jump. I can't wait to see what you come up with next. And as always, I appreciate your time of sitting here, letting us kind of take up your camper during open house and chatting with us.
Well, it's been an honor, and it's a great way to celebrate 20 years in the industry with Haven and with just an incredible group of people. So I'm excited to what's to come and to continue to build the exceptional. That's what I do. That's what I love, to continue building things, building people, building products, and we will continue to do that.
All right, so maybe next year at Open House, we'll podcast about the next new thing. Okay?
There will be something new.
Okay. Well, thanks so much, Jesse.
Thank you.